Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take a look here at AVAX, see what's going on. It does look like scenario B played out here. If we take a look, we can see quite obviously the rejection off this 0.5 fib level continued lower. Had we broken through that range, we might have ranged upwards, retested as a support, and continued higher. Granted, a lot of that would have hinged on Bitcoin maintaining its range or continuing upwards. So at this point, we can see a pretty poor correlation between AVAX and Bitcoin. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek at some backend data, kind of see what's going on there, and just make an informed decision with more information and see if we can increase our odds of success in either direction. Thanks again so much to my awesome community for some really cool feedback. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate that. We took some nice profits from Near Protocol, Bitcoin, and Solana. Those are three shorts. We've now flipped that around. We've got a long open with Solana and SUI. They are tentatively in the red, but I do feel like Bitcoin's getting closer to its bottom. We're likely to see a pivot, and that could be a very positive sign for AVAX. But you got to keep in mind, this coin is dumping pretty hard, and it's not a good look. So let's start with liquidation and kind of see where we're at, because when we talked about this last, there was a good chunk at the 24 to the low, even $23 range. We can see that all here getting swept. So anyone who was a high leverage or medium leverage long all just got destroyed there. So again, just reiterating the fact that high leverage is a bad idea, folks. If you're using high leverage, you're literally causing the problem. Okay. The problem here is that the price action moves towards high leverage amounts and sweeps them, because market makers have just as much access to this as we do, and they have so much more capabilities with billions of dollars that they just keep pushing the price to this max pain point. Everyone shifts over to shorts, and then they go right back the other direction. I'll show you what the liquidation delta looks like here in a minute, but when we take a peek here, I talked about this previously, the low 24 to upper $23 range is getting hit right now. It's about $250 million right there, about 23.80. So we might see one more wick down before the price continues higher, and just to sweep that lower level. So when we take a look here though, this is something that's actually positive. I know it seems weird to see like red and be like, oh, this is great. But the truth is, when the price action moves in the same direction for too long, market makers see that, and they essentially want to reverse that around. So a lot of times when this gets overextended to too much, which we're seeing way too many shorts in the market right now, that's a cause for concern. That's when you see a lot of pain for people, right? So they're finally getting liquidated, they're finally closing their position. They're like, okay, fine, the price is going down, I'm going to short, and instantly it reverses. I'm speculating we're going to see a bit of a relief rally for AVAX if Bitcoin can maintain itself in the next 24 hours at the current price point or higher, just because of this here. Keep in mind, this can change based on people actually securing profits. These are likely shorts that are getting greedy and holding on for too long as well. So it's kind of a weird thing. It's not like an exact science with liquidation deltas, but it does help you understand the overall sentiment right now is truly bearish, which makes sense. But be careful being a late bear, if you will, right? If you're too late to hibernate, you're going to have some problems. And if you hibernate on basically securing profits, you're also going to have problems too. Why not secure profits if you're already 50, 60, 70, 80% in the green? What the heck is wrong with you if you just sit there on your money and you never secure profits, right? You know that leverage costs money. The longer you hold it, the more you're spending. Come on, folks, get real. Okay, anyways, I say that a lot just because I'm not trying to talk down to you. I hope you don't misinterpret. It's mostly just the fact that I get a lot of new community members coming over to my community. While I love being able to help people become more financially responsible, I don't love the fact that they're getting destroyed because they're listening to other, Tom, Dick, and Harry's online saying that everything's going to go to the freaking moon. Come on, folks. Really? The moon? That's just dumb. Anyways, this is not a coin that's going to go to the moon anytime soon, even if that was a real thing, right? And the reason why is because there's so many divergences and we're below every single moving average. We got to get above at least 2 or 3 of those before we have any kind of legs to stand on. Preferably the 50 and the 20, which are up there at about $27. So we got a long row ahead of us here for AVAX. We're solidly underneath 50 on the RSI. Keep in mind, a lot of coins that are strong right now are barely breaking into that level or bouncing right there. So this isn't a good look. We got our money flow index is super low, stochastic swinging down. Literally everything on the daily time frame is telling us that we have a significant bearish divergence. There's no reason to take a long. If you do take a long, keep in mind for that potential relief rally, move your stop loss higher as it continues into profit. You never truly know. I mean, like 3 days ago, you were probably at $26 feeling really good about yourself, and now you're down in the dumps because you held on for too long, all right? Secure profits when you can. That's something I teach in my trading university. Make sure you read through that too if you are or sorry, watch through it rather. It's quite a few hours of content that's available on our website there if you're curious. Links down below too for cryptocash.tech. One thing I want to talk about though here on the daily, just really quick, is this point of control. Again, we're zoomed out to like back in August. So August, September, October, November, and more so like 3 months rather. But we can see 2660 is that average point of control, basically implying that that's a resistance or below that resistance. It just basically tells us that a lot of people are more so in the red than in the green on this coin. And that's just sad. And most of it is because they don't secure profit. All right, anyways, while that doesn't really represent who secured profits or not, it's safe to presume that they haven't, considering how much leverage is still available here, okay? How much liquidation rather, based on high leverage. Okay, 4-hour time frame. What are we looking at here? Same thing. We're below all moving averages. This descending trend here right now is running fairly concurrent with the 20-day SMA, so we kind of extend that out, and just so we can kind of pay attention, because again, being over the 20 is a really important thing. It's kind of like the initial trend setter, okay? So we're below it, so we can presume that we're going to continue lower because of that, all right? So I'll clean up the playout chart here and I'll post that on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. You're not familiar, it looks a little something like this. I give you heads up and analysis based on what I look at on my charts, but just know that that's there. I may not always have the cleanest charts when we're analyzing, but I promise to clean that up. So at this point, we're seeing a retest here, $24. That's a previous low, okay? The general consensus is that you usually will see a point in which the price bounces off of that. Okay, so we might be at the beginning of a double bottom here. So hypothetically, a long for AVAX seems sensible in that one regard. But we don't take trades based on that, do we? No, we don't. We're right here at 30 on the RSI, also a common pivot point. So I do think there's a little bit of a relief coming for AVAX based on how overextended it is. People are now viewing AVAX as a good value, which is legitimate. I totally understand. But is it a good investment? That's the question. Short answer is no. We're not in a position at all where we should warrant a long position. We take a look here, at best, until we get like upwards of this area here, there's no reason to consider a long. Again, the reason why this is relevant is because it's a 0.618 fib level. That's commonly a strong resistance range, which we saw hold really strong here recently. Let's go ahead and zoom in just so you can kind of see it. And then of course, furthermore, we want to retest that as a support. So just say hypothetically breaking through that, coming down to bounce off this level, that's when you get in. And I know, it's a challenge for most people to interpret buying in at a higher price and waiting for that, having better chances of success. I know it seems weird, but the reason why is because this trend is broken, right? The bears would effectively have lost control, mostly, for the most part, if that happens. So that's what it is, okay? It's not just as simple as waiting to get into a worse value. If you get in now, the price continues lower, you're going to be at a loss and you're going to wish you hadn't done that. Okay, so you don't really want to buy into something like this. Last but not least, Ichimoku Cloud confirming every single confirmation, letting us know that we're in bad shape and that there's no likelihood of the price action recovering, or more so, sorry, let me rephrase that. There's less likelihood of the price recovering, but more likelihood of the price going lower, because every confirming factor here is letting us know that we're diverging and it's more likely to go down than up. Okay, so once more, I'll post our playout chart here soon. Quick heads up to everybody who is part of my AVAX community. We do have a trading bonus, basically a progressive prize pool with some pretty significant rewards. We've got up to upwards of about $60,000 to be given across 20 different members. So all the details are here. Link down below. If you use my link to register, you're automatically eligible. Just know you're part of that. If you want to click on the link down below to kind of track your progress, you can. But more important, if you haven't already, use my link to register. No KYC or VPN. These guys are awesome. They provide bonuses pretty much every single month, and it's a lot of fun. They're definitely a cool community. So thanks again. I appreciate you watching, folks. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Be safe out there. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you.